said help me. How would it help me? How would flags for a Nerf gun help me? Careful what you say, because you are unarmed. What? I know, but why would it help? I don't know. All I care about is shooting people in the ass. That's all I'm doing. Shoot people in the ass. Nerf guns have been bought. Finally. Aaron has now achieved the dream. Yeah, that's called being smart. Not smart. All that did was put your face over there where I could shoot at it.
It put my face in the firing line, not the rest
It
of
surely did, and then I shot it. Shoot him in the face. Punch him in the face, Ed.
He grazed me on the side of my head once. He didn't hit me in the face.
I was going for you wearing glasses, so you know you're wearing eye protection.
I don't think this counts as eye
Yes, it does.
because
Yes, it does. No, it counts. Counts as eye protection.
well, then you had eye protection too.
I didn't. I wasn't worried about getting hit in the face. Nerf gun. Rival Nerf guns. Watch out.
I'm better with the controller.
Better with a controller. What?
My aim is better with the controller.
Here we are with the Johnny Walker Red and the Rum Chatata for the post. We were going to do a pre, but we couldn't, so we're doing a post.
Ran out of time.
Post Fantastic Beasts Saturday night special. Sounds epic, huh? Like epic smudging.
Yeah, no, it wasn't epic, was it?
It was semi.
It was semi-epic smudge. Can't even say it now. Semi-epic smudging.
With lens flares and such.
Oh, with crazy lens flare. It's awesome. Gotta love those overlays.
Okay,
Did
I'm
you
about
do
to.
it in Filmora or did you do it on your phone?
I did it in Filmora on my phone.
Ooh, fancy.
Ooh. And they've got that new Rush thing up for Premiere Rush that works on your phone now. It's Adobe Premiere is Adobe's video editing, and now there's a Adobe Premiere Rush that now works on your phone like the Filmora thing does, and you can, I think, upload it to the cloud and then keep your editing going back at home. So, oh yeah, we went to the mall.
We were there for a very long time.
We were there for a very long time.
We didn't get back to like 3, right?
No, it was after 4 o'clock.
It was after 4 o'clock, man. We be shopping.
We were not shopping.
We really weren't shopping, but
A little bit, but
We went to the supermarket.
you and Keegan were shopping.
Well, kind of, but
You were shopping.
it was
You were mini shopping.
it was mini shopping.
It was semi-mini shopping.
semi-mini.
yeah.
Like
'Cause
half of mini?
No, it was
We
like,
were only
like
in there for
semi-epic.
like
Shopping?
we were only in there for like 5 minutes. That
Since semi-mini shopping.
right, that doesn't constitute shopping. Come
I
on.
think that actually does.
No.
Mini shopping.
Semi-mini shopping.
Listen,
It is now.
sir.
All I gotta do is put a hashtag in front of it and it's on.
My coworker was
Black
telling
Friday hashtag semi-mini shopping.
me, right? My coworker was telling me that this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, are equivalent to Black Friday in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were at the mall, them's lies.
Them's lies.
Because I worked in the mall for years during Black Friday. And you can't walk through the mall. From the time it opens at 7 o'clock in the morning until it closes at 11 or 12 o'clock at night, you cannot walk through the mall. We did not have that problem today. But
It was pretty empty when we got there.
because we got there at opening.
Oh.
But when we got to the
This is
supermarket,
not in any direction of my-
the shopping carts were like the shopping cart area was full of carts, and when we came out of the supermarket, there wasn't a cart to be seen.
Right. It was nothing. It was empty.
Right.
4 rows of carts, almost half the length of the front window.
It was it's the
And
middle
it
part of
was-
the front window. There's
yeah.
probably 400 carts when we showed up.
Yep.
There were none when we came
And the
out.
place didn't look any more full.
No. But we also tried to hurry through there as quickly as we could.
Well, yeah. 30% off all the booze. You got to move quick.
That booze aisle was crazy.
No,
So,
it wasn't. It wasn't crazy.
look,
It was just a few people in there.
There were
and a couple
no,
carts. It
because
wasn't crazy.
people moved out before you came over.
I know, but it still wasn't crazy.
But when I went up to go, because here in Mexico, when you buy liquor, some of them, for whatever reason, you can actually get the bottle in the liquor aisle. But the other ones, you get an empty box. And then you pay for it. You take your receipt up to customer service, and they give you the bottle. And they put it in the box, and off you go. They stamp your thing. So when I went up to get Aaron's Johnny Walker bottle,
Red.
they had cases, like 5 and 6 high, of different liquors all over their little
Because it was a
teeny
sale.
space.
30% off.
Everybody that was coming up there was getting liquor. And I'm thinking, I don't ever remember seeing this kind of shopping in China.
No. Why would you?
Because it was all online.
It was all online.
Right.
Did
Yeah,
you
it was
see the
11-11.
numbers for
It
11/11 this year?
11-11.
Did you see the numbers for 11/11 this year?
Nope.
$30.7 billion in one day.
What was it last year?
$27 billion.
Okay.
$30.7 billion in a day. I told my friend who owns the Avon Megastore that she should try to get a shop on Taobao.
So she's the Avon lady.
She is
Yeah.
the Avon lady,
My mom was an Avon lady, too.
but
She used to work at Avon in their headquarters as well.
my friend is a millionaire because of Avon, because of her Megastore. So I told her she should.
What's a mega store?
It's an actual gigantic store where you can go in and buy all Avon products.
She has an actual store?
She has an actual
Why
store.
would you do that?
Because,
The whole idea was to not have
well, there were
stores.
Avon stores in China, but which was the first time I'd seen a store. But then when I discovered that she owns a mega store instead of just a tiny little shopping space, like a little retail space, she actually has a full, like, Bath and Body Works size store full of the products.
That's weird.
I think it's great.
Really?
Yeah, because one of the reasons I don't buy Avon isn't because of the quality of the product. It's because I can't see the colors and try the stuff before I buy it. So I actually want to look at the color before and test it on my skin to see if it's going to work.
Yeah, it's like color pencils or markers.
This is not an Avon podcast.
It isn't an Avon podcast. But I told her she should get a Taobao store, and she'd probably only have to work one day a week.
Taobao?
Taobao. She'd only have to work one day a year.
The dude you were watching for the Nerf videos, he's the one that said that.
Taobao?
He's the one that
Why
said that.
did he say that?
Because he didn't know how to say it.
Oh. Why was he talking about Taobao?
Because he got some modded Nerf parts off of Taobao.
Taobao.
Off of Taobao, yes.
You can't even say it wrong. All right.
That's not how that works.
You know what? I
not the
was
phrase.
looking for something this week online, and I was like, I wonder if Mexico has a Taobao, like a version.
Taobao.
Yeah, because the thing that I wanted, I know I could have found like bam instantly on Taobao,
Uh-huh.
but Mexico doesn't have it. It's Amazon.
Well, because Amazon is what's in this part of the world.
I know, but Amazon isn't as good as Taobao.
Actually, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
No.
It's literally the same. I mean, Taobao is a copy of Amazon.
True.
That's all it is. Stores sign up to sell their wares on a platform that will direct people to their store. You, the consumer, can compare prices between stores for the same item. So you can compare prices, compare deals, compare packages for the very thing that you were trying to buy. That's exactly what you do on all the platforms. That's Taobao is copying, because, China. Taobao is copying Amazon. And that's fine. I mean, honestly, you could only really make that once. Like, you could only make you could only make the idea once. A platform that has multiple stores that people can then shop at. Many stores at one time, because basically you're not shopping a store, you're shopping a product.
Yeah.
Okay. Big deal.
I just feel like the prices were better.
No, we just had more
disposable income.
Yeah.
That might be the facts, because I don't remember looking at prices in China.
I did.
Ooh, speaking of China.
That's right. You better turn around.
Our friend contacted me last night to see if I could post on Facebook for teachers for his school. I asked him what the salary was so I could put it in the thing on Facebook. Do you know that he's paying 14 to 19,000 yuan a month for fucking Benchi? I was like, dude, that's like twice plus what we were making when we were there. He said, now that it's so difficult to get teachers to come to China, he has to offer a higher wage to lure them, because the bigger cities get all the teachers and they're struggling to get teachers in the smaller cities. I was like, son of a bitch. If I wanted to live with the cold like that again, I might consider 19,000 for a year. Stockpile some damn money.
You said you might consider going back to China?
To Benchi specifically?
Are you out of your flippin' crazy
I would go back to
Michigan?
Benchi.
You are out of your mind.
If it was warmer.
It's not going to
It's
get
not
warmer.
right. It's not going to get warmer.
Well, I know. He was like, it's already cold here. And I'm like, dude, I'm freezing and it's like 40 degrees. I'm shivering, like teeth chattering at 40 degrees. But then I told him they didn't have heat here, and he couldn't believe that.
Yeah, well, they didn't have heat in southern China either.
But they didn't have heat in central China either, and it snowed there.
Oh, no, we had heat.
No,
Yes,
not
we did.
like we did in the north.
No, they didn't have...
They had air conditioners that blew heat.
Right, that's heat, because they didn't have a central system
But
run
it's
by
only-
the city to bring heat to all of the places. That's a totally different idea. It would be a waste of time to put something like that in the South.
But the heat was only in your bedroom. It wasn't in the main living place.
That's
The
why you had
kitchen, the
electric
dining,
heaters.
The bathroom.
I mean, they were all electric heaters when you think about it.
Ugh. I was asking my coworkers about, do they have fireplaces or do they use electric heaters? And she's like, no, we don't do that. I'm like, well, what do you do? It's cold. And she said, we just use blankets, a lot of blankets.
A lot of blankets, huh?
Yeah, but after so many blankets, you get warm.
Don't feel bad.
And you start sweating, and then you get out and you're
I got
cold.
kids walking around school wrapped in blankets.
I have kids, like,
not kidding.
I have kids wearing gloves all day.
Yeah.
Hell, the teachers are wearing gloves.
Yeah, they're so cold.
And scarves and
50, 60
hats.
degrees, and they're so cold.
Yeah, but it was colder than that a couple of days this week. It was
Not by 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, it wasn't.
Yes.
Not 40s.
Yeah, it was like
Yes.
43.
Me and Keegan checked before she went and took her nap, and it was 44.
I don't believe it.
And
I don't
was
believe it.
9.
I don't believe it.
She goes and takes her nap at 9.
I don't believe it.
Aaron, I'm telling you.
All right.
He felt it.
I don't believe it. So,
That's because you're in your hobbit hole with all the
that's
perma
right.
heat.
And I can close all my windows and close my door pretty much, and we got straight body heat
Have
up in
you
there.
been in the Zoom yet?
No.
Oh my
No
God!
reason
It's,
to go in Zoom.
I imagine it's like
Until next week.
I imagine it's like your co-teacher's room. It is so cold. It's like you're standing in a freezer. Don't you dare shoot the cat. He's not doing anything wrong.
He's trying to attack.
He's not.
He
trying.
must
He's
get
just
shot in the
needy.
face with the rival Nerf gun.
Aaron. He's just needy.
Hey, I got him mid-jump in the kitchen.
Did you hit him?
Yeah. Well, it hit the... It hit...
fridge, right?
No. I can't see the fridge. It hit the countertop as he was jumping up. Oh, yeah, boy. Aim is pure.
I don't think it has the desired effect, because The only reason he got down is because he was like, ooh, ball.
No, he did not. He
was
didn't
scared.
get up. Yeah. I'm telling you, cat assholes make good targets.
Oh, dear gods.
It's like a little star.
Oh, come on.
All right, so what did we go see today?
Crimes of Grindelwald.
You can't even say it.
Grindelwald.
That's why I didn't even try, because I knew I couldn't say it.
Grindelwald.
Fantastic Beasts 2. How about that?
Yeah, that's what we saw today.
Let's call it that. So,
Let's talk about before the movie.
what do you want to talk about before the movie?
These motherfuckers. Here we
Here
go.
Here we go.
Children,
Here we go.
please cover your ears. The grown-ups are going to chat.
Don't hand mommy the gun.
Here we go.
So we get to the theater at 10:27. The movie starts at 11. We go to the counter to buy the tickets, and they only have it in Spanish or 3D. We don't want either. So she says the only way we can buy the English 2D version tickets is to go to the other box office.
The other entrance.
The other entrance. So we wander through the entire theater hallway, which we could have just, gone in a theater and sat down. Nobody checked our tickets ever.
Nope. Sure didn't.
Because they were going to start the movie anyway.
Right. So we go to the other
No.
entrance.
But there was...
There was a dude who checked our tickets. Because when we got our popcorn and walked in...
But the thing had already started.
Oh.
But nobody checked ours when we went in.
Nobody there.
Well, there's nobody there.
Right.
But there was when I went to the bathroom.
So when we wander through, we get to the other entrance, and they have sofas pushed in front of the door. So Aaron works his way through, goes out. There's no one at the counter. It's completely, closed. So we wander back, and we see another family going the same way. And I hear the cleaning lady or the person who's working there say, oh, you have to go to that counter to buy the tickets for the movie that you want. And I'm trying to say there's no person there. So Aaron watches the people walk over there, and then you saw somebody, right? Moving the sofas.
The same guy that took our...
So
The same guy
he's
that
over
walked
there
over there
moving.
and moved the things out of the way and was like, okay, they're about to open up now.
Right. And now it's 11:40. So...
No.
Or 10:40. So we go back over there. The guy's cleaning the counter and he's wiping the glass, and he's telling the other people who keep coming up, the new people, that they can't sell the tickets yet. I'm thinking he's just a cleaning guy.
That's what I thought.
And then he goes away and he comes back and he sits down at a stool and he says something to someone who's trying to buy tickets. And then he keeps looking down the hallway waiting for someone. And I see this woman come up in a pink shirt, and I'm like, okay, so she's the ticket seller. No, she hands him the damn money.
Yep.
And it is now 10:57. The movie is supposed to start at 11 o'clock. We got into our seats at 11:03. And the previews hadn't even started yet. There were only 3 other people in the theater.
They show a lot of previews that are
They showed a lot.
really long.
And we were kind of nervous because the previews that we had previously seen in English were all in Spanish.
Except for Aquaman. Aquaman was in English.
No,
Yes.
there was a couple of them in English, but the one
The
with
Instant Family.
Mark Wahlberg's.
The Instant Family.
Yeah,
and Mary
was,
Poppins.
That one was in English the last time we went,
Yep.
last week or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last week when we saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
and stop that bullshit. That's
proper
Freddie Mercury's Bohemian Rhapsody, aka that bullshit. All right.
The disgraceful movie.
Oh my.
Stop it.
Yeah. So we watched all the previews and the movie started and it was in English and it was fine. But
And you went to the
here's the
fancy
thing though,
theater.
it said subtitles on all the things, but it didn't tell you what the main language was and what the subtitle language was. So you never were
We
sure.
didn't know until the first line of the movie what it was going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was worried when dude was walking up. No one had said anything. And there was just like sound effects. I was
And
like,
subtitles in both languages.
In both languages.
This is gonna be in Spanish. Everybody is just gonna get up. All four of us are just gonna get up and leave.
I would not have gotten up and left. I would have read the whole thing.
I
But
wouldn't have wanted to read the movie, though. God, I hate that.
we
Especially in a
have
movie
to-
that has action.
we have to go back because I feel like I missed something.
Oh, no,
well, I
we
did
don't-
because I went to the bathroom.
We don't have to go back. That's not a thing that
Well, then
needs
I'm
to
going to
happen.
go back.
Okay, you take you and your girls and y'all go watch it.
I don't
'cause-
need anybody. You know I will go to the movies by myself. I
I'm
don't
just
care.
saying, it's just not worth going back to watch. What you need to go back to is the
I'm going
text
to-
Harry Potter
and the films.
I'm going to go back and read every Harry Potter book. Give me about 2 weeks. I'll have all 8 of them or 7 of them finished.
Because that's what I'm saying.
Wait,
It's-
I still have 2 more books to finish in this series. All right, a week and a half.
because it was confusing.
It was
very
like,
confusing.
There were some things that happened that I was like, what? But then there were some things I was like, oh, that's how she's connecting these things.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Well, you did.
Yep, you did.
Well, after the fact, because you didn't hear the name. But, like, the Nagini thing,
I don't know how Nagini gets to Tom.
It doesn't... No. That's not the important part. That's what should be coming in the next...
True.
The lead up to being
I
the
really
the
want
pre-
J.K. Rowling
right
to
before
write books.
Harry Potter.
I want the books. I don't want just the screenplay and the movies. I want an actual book. I want to know the details.
But nobody cares about that.
I care.
She's giving you the new details in the movie.
No.
It's not going to be
Because,
different.
listen, it is going to be different.
No.
Because always
yes,
is
but
more
you're not gonna.
in-depth.
But if the book is not gonna come after the movie.
Right.
The book had to have already been written. If there's no book,
She can write the book.
no, I'm saying if there's no book now, then all she's going to be doing is
Writing the
almost
movie.
giving you more details about a story she's already told.
Right.
Okay,
Because
that's
she
what
wrote the
movies
movie.
do.
No, I'm saying
They
no.
give you less detail about a story that's already told.
No. The movies, if the book is written first, the movies are adapting a story from a book. That's why you get less details because you don't have the same amount of time to put all the details into a film. But
I
if
want
you have the
both.
film first and then the same person's going to turn around and write the book is going to be so much more just because everywhere there was a problem in the film, they can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck ass right
But
there.
let me tell you, I want the books.
You're not getting it.
I want her book.
You got
I
Fantastic
wanna know
Beasts.
More. That's not a.
No, that's what
it's
you
not
got.
A story.
That's all you get. That's your
There's a
book.
story.
She
No, it
just
is not.
It is not a story.
It's a
I have the
manual.
book.
It's like a manual. It's a catalog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not
It's
a
his book
fictional.
about the beast.
Yeah, about the beast.
She says, I'm doing
writing this book.
Yeah, and we have the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're right.
Today, I got an email from Pottermore.
And they
They-
told you to go watch their movie?
No, they released the screenplay, so you can buy the screenplay.
Ooh, sexy.
I don't want that. I want the book.
But there is
I
no
want
book.
the nitty gritty. I want
Ain't
the
no gritty
I want to
nitty.
know about Spew. See, y'all don't know about Spew.
Was it in the movie?
No.
Exactly. Then it's not important.
Oh,
It looked like one of
shut
the-
the front door. Potterheads, I'm very
What scene
sorry
it
about
was,
what
but
you're
it
about
looked
to
like
hear.
Creature was. You remember the house elf creature?
Yeah.
The one that it looked like he was in one of the places.
What?
Yeah, it looked like Creature was there.
Where?
It was like a sort of like a flying shot where it was like down a hallway or something, but it looked like Creature was sitting like on a pedestal, like working on something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about when it was cleaning the glass.
Yeah,
I didn't know if that was Creature, though. I
it
didn't.
looked like him because
Well-
he turned and was like pulling stuff, and it looked like Creature.
It could have been, but
I don't.
how
know
would
what
you
you're talking
discern?
about.
How would you discern one of the house elves from the
Well,
next?
they look different.
They look different.
They look different, but you're also
They're
going.
girl ones.
It's the 1920s. You're in the past. There could be a one that looks like
Who
Creature.
knows how old? Right?
Yeah.
It could be his father or something.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Who knows how old
until
they
they
are
explain
and
it,
they
or
age or whatever.
somebody calls his name or something like that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like I just feel like I need more than what I'm getting.
I need more. I
feel
need
like-
Pottermore.
I feel like I need to be filled in. I just need
Harry Potter
I know.
You
You
learn
keep
a
saying.
lot
I know.
more than
You
you
keep saying that.
have.
Everybody knows that if you read the books, you're gonna get that story, and it's gonna have a lot of details flushed out. But the thing is, if you're watching just the films, like I have, and you're watching just the films, there are such big gaps between this film and anything in the Harry Potter previous films in that world.
Well,
They
and
didn't-
that's part of the reason why some of the information that was given in this film makes me need to go back and reread, because I have information you guys don't have
Exactly.
because I have read the books. But even the information I remember doesn't match what happened today in the film.
That could be. Maybe she's
I don't know, but I feel like that's sort of like she probably knows that a lot of people haven't read the books. But
Oh,
a lot of
no.
people-
no. I think
Harry
with her,
Potter's
it's
probably one of the most read books, read series in the world.
I don't think that's her problem. Her problem is she's trying to connect this story with the other stories, and it's just not that. It's just we've been given some details, and now we're going to have to somehow bridge the gap between 2 and the beginning of Harry Potter, the first one. They're
Well, I'm
just
sure there's
somehow,
gonna be another
and I don't know if there's going to be 1 or 20 more movies. You know what I mean? But it seems
might
like they're
take 8 more movies.
It took
it
us.
take 6 more movies.
It took
to
us
explain
10 years to get to
Right.
Infinity War.
Yeah, true.
In what,
Well,
20 movies?
It's been 11 years since the first Harry Potter book was published. So
Wait, say that again. That doesn't even sound right.
it was released in
The
1997.
book?
Yeah. First
Okay.
was 1997.
And how many years is that in your
20
world?
I'm sorry, 21 years.
Rum chata. Just keep sipping.
Right.
Because your math hasn't caught up yet. Because
I read
I was like, I remember people talking about Harry Potter and arguing about who Hermione was going to end up with in a restaurant one time, because I was just happening to walk in to get like a coffee or something, and I didn't even know what they were talking about. Okay.
Well, it's funny
So-
because the first book was published in 1997,
Break out your calculator.
and then the last book was published in 2007.
Okay, so that
And
was
I didn't even
9 years.
read the first book until 2008.
Okay, but what is the point?
The point is that I waited all that time because I have to have all the books in a row. And I don't want to wait.
I thought we were talking about the movies, not how long it took you to read.
Okay, no.
Yeah, what are we talking about now?
So it's crazy that it's taken her 21 years to get to this point where she's now trying to connect the American side to
But
the
how much
Potter
of
world.
But how much of the American side is there outside of Fantastic Beasts?
There isn't. That's the
Exactly.
only
So
part.
So she didn't wait to connect it. We didn't know it
He was
existed.
coming up with new stuff.
Right.
She
It's just
started
new
talking
stuff.
about the American stuff before when the Fantastic Beasts book was released,
Yeah, because that makes sense.
but it's not in there really.
No, but I'm saying
Like
that
the
makes
Americans aren't
sense.
really in there, but on Pottermore you could start getting stuff for the American houses, but there's never been any information about the houses or the schooling or
Okay, I don't understand why you went down this tangent.
because she's trying to connect the two worlds, but
Yeah.
she needs a book to connect them.
You keep
she
this
doesn't.
is your ultimate goal, is to try to push the idea that a book needs to be written.
Many books need to be written.
That's not
Right.
You went a
gonna
way
fix anything.
roundabout way to
Write
get back to
the books.
writing a book.
I need the books. Listen, I can read the book and never see a movie.
No,
And I'm
man,
okay
gotta
with
have,
that.
Gotta have the movies.
I don't need the movies.
No, what I'm saying is you've got to have the movies because there are movies, and the people. And honestly, I always look at the world of the books separate from the world of the movies, always, because there are so many more details that are flushed out in the books for everything that starts out as a book.
Some of them. Twilight was one of those series where there are very few details that they leave out in the movies.
Yeah, but aren't they just badly written books?
Also, they're just not
Kind of.
meaning.
Exactly.
I mean, I read them one weekend.
I'm just
All
saying, they're
four of
just,
them.
not intricate. These stories and these characters, this is like Game of Thrones. I mean, there's so much and so many
Right.
that and so many names.
And so many histories.
Yeah,
of
it's so many things.
Each person has a backstory,
exactly.
and the backstory is, shown in various ways.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, whatever. I don't care about the world of the books, because like when I started reading the Chronicles of Narnia, now I'd seen all the films. You go back and read the books, it's like a whole different world.
Yeah.
I mean, even characters' motivations and what's going on and why they're doing what they're doing, it's like, oh, hell no. Oh, that's where the wood for the damn wardrobe came from? It's like, that's why she knows what sons of Adam and daughters of Eve are? It's like, what the none of this is there.
No.
But, that's...
No, you don't
That-
get
I mean,
any of that.
there's literally a whole book left out, because the first book in that series is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But the third, but the third book written, or fourth book written, something like that, is The Magician's Nephew, which is the prequel to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Narnia exists. In The Magician's Nephew, it does not.
Right.
It's brought into existence by Aslan. So it's a whole nother deal, and more, there's this world between worlds thing and all this other stuff. If you never read the books, you don't, all that information is just not necessary.
Right.
I was watching the animated Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for years, long ago. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's an animated one that's really, really good. Oh, God, she's going to go straight to the head with the bottle. She tried. I saw it.
Is it like
I thought you
more
were going to put
accurate
it to
than
your
the
lips.
movies?
I don't know why you didn't, because you only want to go and drink it, huh?
Is it more accurate than the movies? Like, does it give more of?
No,
the
actually, I
story?
think both are almost exactly the same.
Oh, really?
There's very little that's... I mean, the story's the story. But yeah, I see them as separate entities. I don't see them as things that should be joined. The source material might be the book, but as far as like, if I'm gonna watch all the films, I'm not gonna watch all the films and read the books and then try to put them together, because it's almost not possible. Like if you try, I bet you if you sat down and read The Godfather and then watched the films, you're not going to be able to square that circle. You're not going to put them together. There's going to be too much stuff that on one side it's storytelling in a novel, and the other side it's what you can put on the screen, how you put it on the screen, and how it makes sense. It's like Heart of Darkness, same thing. That's why we don't have Heart of Darkness as Heart of Darkness. We have Heart of Darkness and we have Apocalypse Now.
Right.
And it had to be changed. The time had to be changed. The setting had to be changed, because it's not going to have the same relevancy to that audience.
Right.
So.
Also, I feel like if you read the books after watching the movies, you might, because you realize how much is left out and all the details and stuff, you may not like the movies as much.
No, when
See, I don't do that.
Like
Look,
what you
I
did
had
to me
seen-
with Aragon.
See, I don't do that.
I didn't do anything to you with Aragon.
You ruined it.
Anyway, I just don't. I don't look at it that way. In my brain, I keep them in their categories, and I say, this is what happened in the book. This is what happened in the movie.
When I had read the books, I had already seen all of the movies that were out at the time. And so what I would do, because I was recovering from back surgery and had nothing else to do but sleep and read, I would high as hell, Oxycontin and
Anyway,
blah blah blah. I would read the book and then I would watch the movie, and then the movie would end and I would start the next book, and I would literally do for every single one until there were no more movies, because the 6th, 7th, and 8th movie hadn't come out yet. So that's what I would do. And the movies weren't ruined, but because I knew more. But I could say, oh, that character was introduced in the first part of the first book, but she wasn't introduced until the 3rd or 4th movie.
yeah, but I don't know if that's,
feel like that's
as a
irrelevant
story
knowledge.
as a storytelling device. I don't know if that's important.
Well, it was relevant. Like, the fact that she was watching over Harry made more sense to me because I already knew her role when he was little.
Yeah, but it's like having insider knowledge.
Right, I had insider info.
But did it move the story?
It made more sense.
But
that
did
she
it
was,
move the story?
It was made more sense to me that she was still watching over him because she had been watching him. She was his daycare provider, childcare provider, babysitter when he was a little boy.
Okay. But did it move the story? That's the thing, because that's always the concern in film.
I think that it did. For me, it did. I don't know that it mattered to you because you didn't have the behind the scenes stuff.
No. What I'm saying is, in the films, was that important information, or was it on the cutting room floor, or not even thought about? Because it's like it's not moving the story forward.
Well, I don't know. Because this lady shows up and he knows who she is, and she knows who he is, and she knows what he is. And he doesn't know why she knows what he is in the movie. But
okay, why are you're not going to spoil Harry Potter at this point. You can talk.
In the book, it's a totally different thing.
I know, but who are you talking about?
Yeah, who are you talking about in the film? Because I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Mrs. Fig.
Who is that?
Oh,
in the film.
When he's attacked by the Dementor and the little old lady comes.
Oh, okay.
Her.
That she was the one Dumbledore told to watch over her.
Yes,
watch over him.
Yeah.
Well, see, I always took that line when she says that she was told sometime recently.
Yep.
To watch over him because of what had been happening to him, which is, as far as the story is concerned, all you ever need to know. It does not matter when she was told and that she was there all throughout his life. It does not move the story. It doesn't matter because she's only there for 5 minutes?
Well, she testifies.
No, she's there for 5 minutes total screen time. That's about it. It's not that she moves the story. It's not that important. So
I like the details.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying details are bad. I'm just saying that they're part of the book. And when they make those choices to not put them in the films or to put them in the films, it's always because it helps to move the film along, because you only have 2 hours or so to tell this whole story.
Lord of the Rings and do.
They still didn't tell all the story. Do you know how many people were pissed off about the fact that they had read
Your Godmother?
What was his name?
Don't get her started. Bilbo.
No.
Oh, Tom
Bombadil or whatever. They were so pissed off about the fact that they had to read all of this stuff, this poetry and all of these things, and the poetry ends up in Treebeard's mouth, and the whole character is not even in the books. And then you have the Two Towers, which created a whole nother problem because the Two Towers books do not match up with the Two Tower, or the Two Tower book does not match up with the Two Towers movie. And then the whole Return of the King, and then you got the thing with the elf and the love, and none of that's in the books. You see, so it's like people were all upset about this, all those choices that wouldn't, like, why do you care about one character becoming what he was supposed to always become king? Why do you care? Well, you care about him because of his love for someone else. I mean, that's why you care about him. Because with him just being a ranger running around being good at fighting never meant that he should be king.
Right.
And it never meant that he was going to be able to unite men and elves and all this other stuff.
And dwarves and hobbits.
His motivation wasn't to bring all them together. His motivation was to get back to the woman he loved.
Yeah.
So in the films.
Yeah.
In the books, I don't think that's his motivation at all. That was the motivation of his ancestors.
Right.
The one who I believe that it was his ancestor that he's singing about that's in love with the elf girl. Mm. And he's singing a song about it. But that's in it's in one of Tolkien's other books about the ancient past of Middle-earth.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like people are always going to fight about and argue about the decisions that the directors, editors, screenplay writers make when they're adapting a book
I agree.
to a film.
Most of them,
and you're not going to satisfy everybody at the same time.
Most of them I don't have a problem with. The only one modern movie that I really have a problem with how they did the movie versus the book are the 50 Shades movies. They are shit on a stick. Shit. They did so little.
I don't know what you want us to say.
Well, you haven't read the books and you haven't seen the movies. And 2, you are not allowed to see the movie until you're 18.
And I don't want to read the books and I don't want to see the movies. So, okay, next
don't waste
topic.
Your time.
Because
Anyway.
But Aaron has one of those because the Bridge to Terabithia is yours.
No, but that's in the reverse.
Right. He didn't like the book, but he liked the
book,
movie.
The movie, it felt like they read the book and it's like, this needs more, so let's add some more.
Well, I mean, but
so they did, and it ended up being.
But it's still the same problem. Directors, editors, screenplay writers, they have a certain license when telling that older story or previously told story in their way.
Yeah,
that's their job. They're supposed to. If they didn't, then they would just let the person who wrote the book the first time make them the screenplay writer and just copy everything. And then it's like, what's the point?
The Percy Jackson movies are.
Yeah, but in the Percy Jackson movies, they mixed books,
right,
and then left big, exciting chunks of the books out.
But isn't that because they weren't ever planning to do multiple sequels?
No, I think that was the initial idea because there was talk that they were going to do 3 or 4 movies, and there are 5 books for that first group, and then there are 3 books for the next one, and then there are 5 books for the next one.
And then what happened?
2 got made, and
the directors made some poor choices, and they were shitty.
They were shitty. Like Divergent, same thing. You make a couple movies based on the books, and it's like people just don't latch on to it.
Well,
and that's why directors make the choices that they make, because they know that they've got a nut. They gotta fill that. They gotta get that money.
Yep.
They gotta get those butts in the seats. And if they don't sensationalize maybe the boring parts of the book or add things in or whatever, I mean, even in Malcolm X is a great example. Mm-hmm. The whole scene where it's like the big moment where they're walking down the street and they're marching down the street and he can do the one little hand gesture and they all turn and they walk away and there was the real event happened. Did it happen like that? All dramatic? And no, it didn't. But that was what Spike put in there. And then he added characters.
Right.
Because the family, he had to look out for living family members.
Right.
And what they wanted. So everybody makes those decisions. Fine. That's why I separate the books from the movies. I never look at them ever as the book trying to be the movie or the movie trying to be the book. Ever.
Well, and I can't. can't separate them. Just like if I've seen it on stage, I don't want to see it in a movie.
But why not? It's just another way of telling a story. It's like, okay, now since you go there, you go and you watch, what is it? Hamlet.
Oh, but
So you go and you watch Hamlet on the stage.
Yeah, it's so good.
Then you go and you read it.
Well, you read it before you see it. Duh.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have because nobody would have read it before they saw it back in Shakespeare's time.
Okay, well, I
nobody, because you wouldn't have. Just like when you go to see most films, you don't read the screenplay before you see the film.
I'm never going to read a screenplay.
Well,
they're boring as hell.
That's
to
the
me.
point. So you won't read it before you see it. So
Sorry,
you move
Mendelek
on.
and Hunt. Boring.
You see the play. Maybe you read the screenplay today, because it's Shakespeare, and then you go and you watch Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet, and then you go and watch Mel Gibson's Hamlet, and now you have things to compare and talk about and deal with the different visions of those things. They are not supposed to be the same.
I thought, wasn't Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet like almost word for word?
Almost.
Because we had to watch it.
I mean, if you take the text, there's some things left out, but it's very small. It's very little.
Because we had to read it, and then we saw it on stage, and then we had to come back to class and open our text and follow along with the movie, Kenneth Branagh. We had to follow along, and I want to say there was
it's not
less than a full page of text missing.
Yeah, most of it's there.
That's why you had me watch it.
Yeah, most of it's there because it's literally like reading it.
Yeah.
And there's I've never seen any. I've seen the one Romeo and Juliet from
Which one?
the 70s, 80s.
Because there's been so many of
No.
those.
I saw the one when I was a freshman in high school, and there's a scene where the actress's breast is shown, and because
Titties.
we were ninth graders, the English teacher fast forwarded through that scene, and we're like, "But we all have boobs. What's the big deal?"
I hope we all didn't.
As a
hope it
teacher,
was
I
just the
understand what
girls.
the big deal
I
was.
hope that just the girls had the titties, because if the boys had the titties, that would
Some
be
of
bad.
the boys had titties bigger than the girl in the
my.
movie because
See.
she didn't have big boobies.
But yeah, when you're
I've not seen any of the Shakespeare stuff besides Hamlet.
oh man, you should watch everything Kenneth Branagh has ever been in.
Well, yeah. I've
Because,
seen Hamlet.
damn.
I've seen the Othello. Because
Which one? With Lawrence?
Um,
That's a good. Oh yeah,
Is that the
he's
old
Othello.
one?
No,
No. I've
that's
seen
the one with
old
Kenneth
one.
Branagh as Iago.
Yeah, that's the one I saw because
think.
I had to watch it
Is
in
it Iago?
college.
Who's the? Is that right? Iago?
Iago and Othello.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He's
that's
Iago.
right.
He's his
Yeah.
best friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to watch that in college, but I've not seen
Midsummer Night's Dream.
I saw that on stage. It was awesome.
No.
What you do about
the one
nothing.
with Denzel
King
Washington.
Lear. No, what? No.
Yes.
No, I know.
That's what I'm trying to get you to see. And what's her name?
No.
Kate Beckinsale.
No.
She's in it. And
Sorry.
Kenneth Branagh's
I
in it
love
first.
me
In the
some
Vampire
Kate
Diaries.
Beckinsale.
World?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Nope.
You should watch
No.
those because it's a great way to see how they have to make a modern movie out of those old things while trying to stay true to the writing that Shakespeare did. Even DiCaprio's Romeo and Juliet. They stay really true to the dialogue. But they stay true to nothing else because their swords are guns. They are in a modern day. They are riding. The two families are not just families, but corporations and all of this other stuff. So it's like, how do you tell? I mean, think about it. How many times has Romeo and Juliet been told?
A trillion.
Just
A
a
trillion
star-crossed lovers idea.
A
has been told
trillion
so many
billion times.
But how they tell that story is what makes it interesting.
I remember, when I was pregnant with two, I read Shakespeare to him every day. And then when you were probably about 7 or 8, I got you a Shakespeare for Children book for Valentine's Day. And we were reading, I want to say we were reading Hamlet. and you stopped me and you said, Mommy, why are you reading me The Lion King with other people?
Because that's what it is.
Because that's exactly what it was. And it wasn't until that very moment that I was like, oh my God, The Lion King is Hamlet.
Yes. Duh.
Duh.
Come on now.
It was a very proud mommy moment.
I'm telling you that getting the same story in different kind of different ways and different visions can open up your eyes to that particular story and give you insight that you wouldn't necessarily have without someone taking the time to make it. You wouldn't necessarily get maybe all the subtle nuance of the relationship between mother and son if you don't get Mel Gibson's Hamlet. If you don't see that with him and Glenn Close and I think it's Glenn Close in that one. Yes, it is. And it's just like,
what the hell?
It's like, ew, like what are they doing? Like why is this happening? But then when you watch Brandon's version, it's not there.
Right.
But then when you watch Brandon's version, the whole setting is wrong. Mm-hmm. Where they are is wrong. It feels like in Hamlet, it's supposed to be this big
castle,
giant palace-like
but
castle.
Is not.
But then Mel Gibson's is like they rednecks, backwater, lowly, bad clothes, and the lighting is dark and eerie and not comfortable. Yep. I mean, it's closer, from what I understand, to what Shakespeare's time would have been like and what would have been on the stage. Mm-hmm. You see? But Kenneth Branagh's is not. It's opulent. And it's way nice and beautiful and all this other stuff.
That big,
lots of extras and all that.
The big, huge, what is it, like the ballroom or the foyer that's all black and white floor, and there's huge staircase and it's all really bright. And I kept thinking the first time we watched it, after we'd seen it on stage, is this right?
No, it's not right. There was no place that Shakespeare would have been able to make that place to put it on the stage.
Right.
Because the Globe does not have that available.
We're going to go someday.
Speaking of movies, since this is a movie podcast,
this is not a movie podcast.
I think it's turned into a book versus movie podcast. This is supposed to be
a Fantastic Beast podcast, but it's not working apparently.
Yeah, we've moved on.
Because we don't want to spoil it.
Can you give Mommy a good reason why she should watch the Man of Steel and the Batman vs Superman?
No.
Okay, you're talking about the DC verse, so that she can get to Aquaman.
Yes, and why she should watch the new Spider-Man.
My suggestion, really, you don't really need it. You really don't need to watch anything before Aquaman.
Woohoo!
But
because he's hot.
But
that's not the reason.
If that was the case, you'd have watched Game of Thrones by now.
I know, because he's in there.
Because there's all that other stuff.
Yeah. See, you'd have watched that by now. But the kind of Batman versus Superman is worth watching.
But I have not seen any Batman movies.
Okay, I don't know why you keep saying that. Like, that's important, but that has no meaning as to what we're talking about.
You have to watch his Man of Steel.
No.
Then you watch Batman versus Superman.
You don't have to do that. That's my point. All you have to get to Aquaman. Mm-hmm. The Man of Steel has no meaning for Aquaman.
No.
Ha.
What I would do is watch Batman versus Superman and then watch the Justice League movie. Because the Justice League movie is kind of like the second part of that movie. It is part 2.
Yeah.
And part 2, they have to go. Batman has to go get these characters because of what happens to Superman in the first one.
Right.
You see, so that's why I'm saying it's like you'd watch Justice League and go, what? Why is this happening? Like, why is this going on? It's like, this is the DC verse. Why don't they just go get Superman? Well, you have to find out why they don't go get Superman. Why they have to do what they do. That's the thing. But Aquaman is all a part of that. They're all a part of this thing of dealing with Superman. And then you have the Justice League.
Aquaman, Flash,
Right,
Wonder
all of them
Woman,
together.
Batman,
But then
Cyborg.
but that's
they're
like
missing Green
saying
Lantern.
that's like saying you have to watch Wonder Woman in order to watch Justice League,
No,
and you
you
don't.
don't.
But I've seen Wonder Woman.
I know, but my point is you don't have
of.
to. You don't have to. There are allusions to it, and there are things that Batman says to her,
That kind
but
of.
they go directly back because he gives her a picture from the past.
Oh, yeah.
They go directly back to what you saw, but it's not necessarily all that true. Yeah. It's not necessarily all that necessary. But Justice League is where Aquaman shows up first.
Right.
Where Flash comes in first.
Right. And.
I haven't seen nothing Flash at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where he comes in first.
Right, because there's no Flash movie before it.
Nope.
The TV show don't.
It doesn't
they don't
connect.
connect. The dude that is in Fantastic Beasts, who is a Dumbledore, he is the Flash.
Right,
That's
he's the
movie
Flash.
Flash.
Yes, that's him.
That's the same actor.
Yep. So it's my suggestion is at least start with Justice League, but you're gonna miss out on why they are where they are if you don't watch Batman versus Superman, which is not necessarily great, but at least it gives you where a place to start. You can accept the fact that Superman is there. You know what I mean? You can just accept the fact that he's there. You don't need the first Superman movie. What's it called?
Man of Steel.
Yeah, you don't need Man of Steel
Good, I've
because
seen a
they
lot of Superman.
retold in Man of Steel. They retell the old Superman 2
Okay,
with Zod.
got ya.
You see what I mean? But it's not the same.
That's
The
what
whole
you're-
motivation of Zod is not the
Bless
same. Nothing about what Zod is doing or trying to do is the same as the first one.
I told
he's
you they
he's
redid
trying
it.
to save a civilization in this one. In the first one, he wanted to rule that civilization, and he was angry about the fact that that civilization was gone, and he wanted to make his jailer kneel to him. That was his only motivation. It wasn't anything else.
Right.
He just wanted to be the ruler of a world. That's not, this Zod doesn't want that at all. He's like friends with this guy. He doesn't even want any of that stuff. So it's a totally different feel.
He doesn't
and
even really want to kill Superman until
No.
he gets in his way.
No, it's not. It's just not. It takes on a very kind of a darker and different spin. You know, and different like technology and what's going on, and you know the fact that these things have been on the Earth for a long time and all this other stuff. It kind of takes on that Transformers feel where things are stuck in ice for a long time and it gets found and all that kind of stuff. So I would go with at least Justice League.
And if you finish
And
the
then
MCU,
watch.
don't skip Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah, you don't.
Just
you
don't
can't
do that.
You can't.
Oh man,
Because it's
not another
also not the same.
Spider-Man.
But it's not the
It's
same.
not the same.
It's
You're-
completely different.
You ever understand? Everybody before you has been saying not another Spider-Man.
Yeah, because you haven't even seen the Amazing Spider-Mans. And those are crap.
Which one haven't I seen?
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Haven't you seen the first three?
I've seen those.
Okay. Have you seen the one with...
I haven't seen the one with the dark one,
The one with the dark one.
the black suit.
You're talking about Tobey Maguire's
No,
Spider-Man.
the
Yeah,
black
yeah.
suit with the red webs. That's a totally other Spider-Man from another universe.
What?
That's not what she's talking about. That's not what she's talking about.
No, the all black.
She's
one.
talking about when he
Venom. Yeah.
has no, not Venom. When he becomes the black suited Spider-Man because of that alien.
Right, because of
And
Venom.
then Venom is that other guy because he's evil. Remember, it brought in that old thing. It brought out who that person was on the inside,
right.
and he became Venom.
Right.
He was just the black suited Spider-Man
Yeah.
in the film. It was still Spider-Man. He was just kind of wrong.
Yeah, he was like... But it was like changing his mind. Like
Right.
His,
It was affecting his choices.
Right. So you've seen 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, of the old ones.
But-
But the problem is the ones that connect to the MCU are none of those.
No, you're right. All the
None of those are
before
right.
them don't connect.
They don't connect at all.
Because the two amazing Spider-Man movies, and the second one has Jamie Foxx in it, but those two have nothing to do with the previous ones or the MCU. They just Sony just needed to make the Spider-Man movie so that they could keep it
like Fantastic Four. Let's make another Fantastic Four movie and put what's his name in there?
Killmonger in there.
Put Killmonger back in there again. Woo! Let's do it.
God, so bad.
The only Spider-Man movie that I would willingly watch at this point is the one that they showed today, the animated one.
Yeah, but that's completely different. That's not even the MCU.
I know, I'm okay with that.
No, but that's not.
Okay, look.
That's
everybody
keeps
keeps trying to get you to watch the
No, I just don't want to watch
Phase
Spider-Man.
1, 2, and why?
But this Spider-Man doesn't go back.
Because I feel like I've seen so many Spider-Man movies. I've seen so many Superman movies.
Yep.
I don't want to watch it again.
That's cool.
They can't retell the story
That's fine.
enough to make me interested
Guess
in
what?
seeing it again.
It's not a retelling.
Right.
That's what everybody's trying to get you to see. That these movies of this particular set of movies, Phase 1, 2, and 3 of the MCU, they are not retelling anybody's story. The only person that gets an origin story by themselves is like Iron Man. Hulk doesn't. They went back and brought up what was in the TV show again.
They redid
that was, and then most people don't even think about that because you don't have the same person playing David Banner. Then you got Black Panther and Black Panther's origin, right?
Yep.
But it's post.
Well, Ant-Man, you get the origin.
Well, right. You get
Ant-Man
those
has an origin.
because they don't have any. They have to tell us who they are. Same thing with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
They
I
had to
haven't
give
seen
us
that one
his
yet.
origin story.
I don't know.
Because
I
there's
haven't seen that
no things out there. But as far as like Spider-Man's origin story, they don't even waste time on that anymore.
Don't even.
It's like
That's
Tony,
because-
I think, just pops up one day and say, "There's this kid I need to
Yeah.
go check out."
Yeah. He's like,
And then he just
he's
goes
like, I know
there.
a guy.
Right, and he just goes there.
I know someone. He might be good. Let me go see.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. The only reason that the Incredible Hulk might be important is because characters come back from that. Well, one character.
Ross, yeah.
One character comes back and becomes very important in the world of the politics of the Avengers and what they're going through.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But as far as
nobody
like
else does.
nothing else does.
Nothing else from
You know, his daughter's not around. Even the girl from Thor never comes back
Even
again.
even
She comes
his
back in the second one and
methods.
never comes back again. And then they break up. And, you know, it's like not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
So, everybody, your children are trying to get you to watch these because they know you would enjoy them. The reason they can't tell you why you would enjoy them because that would give away the movie.
just
The
have to
very
trust
thing
us.
that we don't do. So why not just indulge them? Because you tell them to watch stuff or check out this and look at that, read this book, and you want to be taken seriously, why not just...
I take them seriously. I've watched some of the movies.
No, it's not. You don't...
Yeah,
you,
but
how
you're
many
not-
How many books have you read some of?
Exactly.
But you don't do that with a
Checkmate.
book.
You don't do that with movies either.
How many?
Sure,
No.
Movies.
How many series of books have you read some of?
How
Only
many have you
one.
stopped
Without
in the middle?
without
One.
reading all of them
One.
and then getting to the end and saying that was some bullshit.
One.
Or watching half or one part of it, skipping ahead twice.
Oh, stop it.
Okay.
You did
listen.
that with Black Panther
But
and
listen,
Ragnarok.
why not just do it?
Look,
It would be so much. You're gonna get more out of it, and everybody knows it. But
We
you
can't tell you
won't
why.
try to
But I
just do
have
it.
tried.
No.
I
All you gotta
sat
do,
there
all
and
you gotta do is
watched.
sit down and watch all the movies, and then
but it's
and
so
then
long.
yeah, it's 20
But you-
movies,
But you don't. It's not like you have to start over.
right?
You just have to go from where you
Where you
last
stopped.
left, where you remember,
What do
The
you mean
last
where
one.
I remember? The last one I watched was...
No, not the last one you watched. The last one in the series.
The
blah, blah,
last
blah,
one in
blah.
the series I watched was Iron Man 3.
Right, so just start there and move on.
Yeah, just keep going. And then Black Panther and Ragnarok will make a ton of more sense.
Yeah. And what happens at, like, in the Avenger movies and Civil War and all that, it all makes way more sense.
I've seen the Avenger movie. The
There
first
are
one.
three.
Okay, there are 3 of them.
Oh.
Come on now.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Infinity
There's
War is the
3
third
Iron
one.
Mans, there's 3 Captain Americas, there's 3 Thors.
Right.
Oy vey.
2 Ant-Mans. I love how
2
there's...
Guardians.
I love how there's 2 Ant-Mans, 2 Guardians, and 1 Black Panther.
1 Spider-Man. 1 Doctor Strange.
Yep.
One Hulk.
Yeah, but
Well, they don't need to do all
nobody
the
cares about that story.
But you made
right?
me watch it.
No. It's part of it.
Right,
It is the second one. It's the
Again.
second film, but that's the one that. See, the reason why that one's important is because it gets alluded to. Because he says, "I sort of broke Harlem."
Right.
And you
Yeah.
need to understand that
I
he
remember-
really broke Harlem
I
with
remember
Abomination.
watching the movie
Also,
the first time,
Tony.
and then you made me watch it again.
Well, of course.
Ugh.
Because at the end of that one, at the end of
Tony.
that Hawk, that's when Tony goes to Ross.
right.
He goes to Ross and he tells him either that there's an initiative or there's
He wants to
something.
put a team
He
together or
yeah,
something like that.
that's where it begins.
That's
and
where the
that's how he
Avengers
gets
start.
him to stop hunting Hawk.
Right. And just leaving him
Because remember, the
alone.
story of the Incredible Hulk from the TV shows and all that stuff that we know, Ross is hunting him from the time he shows up forever. He keeps hunting him. He
Yeah.
never stops. And then that reporter is always there, right?
Yep.
Okay. None of that happens anymore after Tony goes to Ross.
Right. He tells him to stop.
You see?
Basically.
So there is a finality to that idea of Hulk being a threat as opposed to one of the Avengers. That's how they do it in the films.
Right.
To get him to pull him into the fold before they ever go talk to him, because they don't go talk to him until the first Avengers movie.
Right.
And that's what's her name? Black Widow?
Yeah, that's wrong.
She goes and
And
gets
gets
him.
Yeah.
And that starts their relationship,
Yep.
which becomes really important.
Okay.
Because
I think in long series,
on that planet in Ragnarok,
right?
you'd have no idea why.
Like why? How did he? Like why is he there? Why is there a ship there?
Why is there a Quinjet there? And why is there a bunch of stuff here? Why has he been there for 2 years?
Yeah, he's been missing. He was missing all that time, and all these other things were happening all along. Because in Civil War happens, and he's not there.
And he's totally out of the loop of everything. That's why he's asking questions, and Thor's like, yeah, this has been dealt with, and all of this stuff has already happened.
It's. I think watching it and then dissecting it is interesting because of what their stated goal was to do this thing. So even if they stopped right now, which would suck ass.
Yeah, it
But
would. God, please.
even if they stopped right now after the last
Marvel,
Ant-Man,
don't do that, please.
if they did that, you have a 21 movie collection.
Oh no, I think it's just 20.
Well, the second Ant-Man makes it 21, right? Because isn't the
Black
last
Panther was 18.
no isn't Infinity War 20? Because Ant-Man comes out after Infinity War.
What's in between Infinity War and Black Panther? Nothing, right?
Ragnarok?
No, that's after. That's before Black
That's
Panther.
way before.
It's before Black Panther?
I think
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Black
is
Panther is kind of like a side thing because Civil War happens before Black Panther.
I think Infinity War is 19 and
There are
Ant-Man
20
2
films.
is 20. Yeah, that's
So-
what I think it is.
When you look at that collection of 20
Still
films
20 movies.
over 10 years,
Right.
that's an achievement.
Yeah.
And to weave all these stories together.
Wait, Daredevil's part of that?
No.
No.
No. Daredevil is part of Marvel.
Oh.
What
not a
happens
part of
in
the
Daredevil
MCU.
is not part of the MCU.
I
Daredevil.
say, I don't want to watch that
Luke
again.
Cage. No, not
it's
that
the-
Daredevil.
not the movie.
Oh.
The TV show.
Okay,
The
understand
Netflix show.
that the guy who played Daredevil in the movie is now Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was telling you before.
That's
It's
why
Ben
Batman's as
Affleck.
bad as Daredevil?
No,
No.
not at all.
I don't know. Like,
Not at all.
I don't know. Like, the freaking.
I don't dislike an old Batman. I don't think it was wrong to do what they did. Batman should get older. Batman should be trying to not be Batman anymore.
The old get off my lawn
Yeah,
Batman.
exactly. And I think he plays it fine.
So the
plays the
20th
grumpy man
movie
well.
was Ant-Man versus Wasp.
That's the last
Ant-Man
one
and
so far.
Wasp, they're not fighting.
Okay, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Black Panther, you're right, too, was 18.
Okay.
And then it's Infinity War. And the next one that comes out is Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Marvel, if you're listening, please don't stop.
Because if they stop, I mean,
much.
well, you got Captain Marvel, so you're gonna,
Right,
but
right,
the,
right.
and they've already done
Yeah,
You know what, we
already
haven't
Avengers
said-
4,
Yeah,
so
they've already
We
said
we
it.
really need to give a shout out to Stan Lee.
you want to give a shout out
Yeah.
to Stan Lee?
Yeah, because Stan Lee made being a nerd cool again.
When was
Yeah.
Or
how?
being cool now. Like it's cool to be
When?
a nerd now. Versus
I don't
when
think, I don't think he had anything to do with that.
you don't think the Marvel movies and his characters had anything to do.
His characters were alive before we were.
True. But the movies,
and making
But he
comic
didn't make
books
the
and
movies.
having comic book store, I don't think that made nerddom cool.
No,
the movies made
because in
nerds
the
cool.
'80s, reading comic books was not cool.
I don't
What
think
if-
the movies made nerds cool either.
Actually,
I don't.
it did.
I will not attribute the cool nerddom thing that is now happening to Stan Lee.
No?
I just think he gave what the nerd. If he gave anything, he gave the characters that the nerds had fallen in love with a long time ago. He gave those people those characters and made them believe in possibilities that they probably never would have thought of through his storytelling and the characters that he came up with his collaborators on all of those different things. That's what he gave. That's what he did. And I think that is laudable. It's fine. But I don't think he made nerddom cool because it wasn't cool. Most of the stuff that when he was writing the stories that he was writing and doing the things that he was doing, it was seen as a anti-literature thing. It was a bad thing. Most kids had to hide their comic books and all that
And
kind of
now
stuff.
we have an entire genre based
Right.
on.
And graphic novels.
Right, the
And
graphic
now we're
novels.
telling movies with graphic novel style.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think his longevity speaks to who he is or who he was as a storyteller and the importance that he had to more than one generation of teens, tweens, and people looking for the fantastical in a mundane world. Fine. But I don't think he didn't make any of those things cool. I think it was the fact that some of those kids that read his things grew up and now can make decisions and tell stories, and they're now filmmakers because they were allowed to read. They were allowed to absorb the stories that he was putting out there. And a lot of people stood on his shoulders. It's like Disney. A lot of people stood on his shoulders and all the people he collaborated with, all those different characters. There were so many of them.
Yeah.
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 And the characters have lasted all this time. That, I think, that says something to like whatever foundation they started with, that those characters can keep going.
Right.
And people still want to keep reading about them and see them in their own world.
One of my kids asked if we had ever met Stan Lee. And I kind of laughed at him and I said, no. The closest I ever came to Stan Lee was riding in the Iron Man experience in Hong Kong, and he was in the opening part. They showed him sitting basically in the same seats we were sitting in. You sat in the same seat Stan Lee sat in? Like, no. This was just from the video that they show in the ride. That's what it looked like. I doubt he went to Hong Kong and rode the ride. Oh, Mrs. Farr, that would be so cool to ride the ride with Stan Lee. And I'm like, oh, so he could see me throw up?
Yeah. Yep. It's like, this must be a good ride.
2, did you hear that fans are asking for Deadpool to take over Stan Lee's cameos?
In the MCU.
In the MCU.
No. See? I'm telling you, any real fan does not want Deadpool to show up. I mean, you might want, maybe he could be a cameo as long as he doesn't open his fucking mouth.
Yeah, like if he does what Stan
Like if he's looking through a window and something's happening out there and the camera goes by and sees him and then they
or
move
like
on.
he
Maybe.
turns around and is like shocked or something. Like, yeah, no one wants Ryan Reynolds to as Deadpool to show up in the MCU. No.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I don't think I want him to have a speaking cameo part because then it would just destroy the flow of the movie. But
instead of having
Deadpool should be there.
Well, the MCU doesn't connect with the X-Men.
But it could.
It could, but they've messed up
Deadpool's
X-Men so
dead.
much now.
In the
It could.
X-Men,
The X-Men
Deadpool's
is like
dead.
3 different. The X-Men are like 3 different timelines now, where it's like the young X-Men, the first 3 movies with Jean-Luc Picard and what's his name?
Patrick Stewart is the guy's name.
Patrick
Not Jean-Luc
Stewart.
Picard.
I'm Jean-Luc Picard.
That's his name.
Even though he is Jean-Luc is coming back to Star Trek.
Him like you have the young and the old, and then Deadpool's like in the middle and doesn't connect with anything.
I get it.
Deadpool's dead.
No.
He was dead in the X-Men movies.
Deadpool can't die, and
He was
that's not
dead.
Deadpool.
And Deadpool, well,
It was Deadpool.
It was supposed to be Deadpool, and it's not Deadpool because it's not Deadpool. Deadpool talks.
It was supposed to be Deadpool.
Okay, in X-Men Wolverine Origins, Wade Wilson, the dude with the katanas who is sitting there running his mouth, which is Ryan Reynolds.
I have seen the movie.
That is Deadpool.
Okay, we know that.
And then they messed it up.
Okay, so like
What
I
I'm
said,
saying is in the X-Men, they can't connect the Deadpool
they
from
can
X-Men.
connect it if they want to. The thing is, it just won't connect back to the old X-Men stuff.
Right.
It would be a redoing of. Well, it would just be a way of making it all fit.
Yeah. Like,
In other words, saying all that stuff you all already know.
Is
That was some bullshit. We're gonna let that go.
Right.
We're gonna start from here and move forward.
We found him on the island and rescued him, and
No, we just start from here forward. It just this is
Unstitched his mouth.
there he is. Look, there's Deadpool. Hey,
Yeah, but
Deadpool, why don't you come over here and help us?
yeah.
And then let him say something stupid. Now he's in the film. It's like, where'd he come from? It doesn't matter.
yeah. Well,
Who is he? Doesn't matter.
it's Deadpool.
He's just Deadpool.
Right.
You know who he is.
You read the comic books. Don't act like you don't know.
Right. I mean, just go forward.
Right.
Just don't ever go back. Don't ever talk about anything from any movie, and just let him have no past.
Don't try to connect it.
Right.
Because it is unnecessary.
That's
Deadpool
one.
2 is
that's-
ending of Deadpool 2 is probably
But
one of the
Deadpool is worth watching.
Yes.
Only if you like superhero movies. If you like
best. Fourth wall breaking.
lots of it,
If you
They are
if you
really
like
funny.
Ryan Reynolds.
they're really funny.
if you ask me to
Way
tell
better
you what
than
Ryan
Green-
Reynolds looks like,
Green
I
Lantern.
can't because I don't know who it is.
Green Lantern.
You should have seen Green Lantern.
Yes, I have.
You have?
I've seen Green
He's
Lantern.
the dude in
my.
the proposal with Sandra Bullock.
To the window.
That's Ryan
okay.
Reynolds.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. Betty White
Okay.
was in
You
that
have to
movie.
Connect with the
Yeah.
with the woman
Rom-coms.
brain. Yeah.
Rom-coms.
The what?
Rom-coms.
What is that?
Romantic comedies.
Oh, I just watched it for Betty White
Connect to the romantic comedy, and all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, I know who that guy is.
because Betty White is funny.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, that's Ryan Reynolds. That's Deadpool.
But anyway, I mean, like I said, he was in Blade.
Yep, sure was. As basically Deadpool.
Right.
Deadpool with facial hair.
With no mask.
Right.
And no suit.
And no swords. That was it. He was basically Deadpool.
I can't believe you didn't know I watched Green Lantern. I watched that in Banshee.
And?
I watched it.
Okay.
I've watched something else, too.
You know Michael Clark Duncan was in there, too.
I do.
Green Lantern.
Yep.
Yep.
He's the guy that trains him. The big guy who trains him.
Oh, he's the big dude.
Yep.
Sad.
And see, I want the second version. I want the second part of that movie, which now they probably can't do.
Nope.
Why?
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
And also the ending of Deadpool 2.
Well, no.
Well, no, but he-
no.
that-
That has
that's
nothing
more
to do
of a
with
joke,
That has nothing
but-
to do with
Yeah,
DC.
no,
what DC chooses
that's
to do.
more of a
What I'm
joke
saying
and a
is,
stab at-
I wanted to know what happened because of the end of that
Yeah.
one movie. What's the next part of that story? Because all we got really was his origin and him winning a fight.
But he's never gonna do that.
But I want to know, like, that's to me that was an interesting story. To now go from a Green Lantern to a Yellow Lantern
Right.
guy,
Right.
and he's kind of like
because Sinestro
evil.
makes the
Right.
He forges it.
Yeah,
What's the other one that I've seen? I feel like I've seen something else. Seen
I
the-
hope so.
I've seen
I hope
the
you have that
Ant-Man
feeling.
one.
You're getting
What?
DC and Marvel
What?
mixed up now.
What'd
She
you
said
say?
Ant-Man. Ant-Man's Marvel.
That's the Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's Ant-Man.
You haven't seen that one. That's the last one. Right
Post.
now.
Wasp is the chick, right?
Wasp is the
Hope,
chick from
yes.
Lost.
Hope.
I haven't seen Lost.
She's. It's got Michael Douglas. It's got the girl from. What's the?
Fast and Furious, Letty.
No.
Yeah, you said Letty was in there.
No, not that.
Oh.
I'm talking about the. What's the robot movie where they box?
Oh, that's the same.
What's the robot movie where they
Real
box?
Steel.
The girl from that.
She's
She's
in
the
Ant-Man.
That's
That's
why.
the same person.
Aaron,
That's
what he's
what
trying
I'm
to
trying
explain.
to say.
Okay.
He's trying to connect the dots for me, duh.
Yeah, she's in there.
I've had to watch-
Evangeline Lilly.
Have you even seen Real Steel?
Oh my god, you watched it like daily for a year.
because
So then you know who
watched it,
she
doesn't-
is. She's in Lost. She's Evangeline Lilly. So yeah.
Okay.
It's worth. I think that the movies that are in the MCU that everybody keeps telling you to watch are worth watching because the story and how they weave the story and how you genuinely will care about all of those characters when you get to Civil War. There
When you
is
get into
there
Infinity
is
War.
right the Infinity War.
War.
You will not. There are no throwaway characters.
Nope.
And that's to do that over 10 years and 20 movies or 19 movies is
Ridiculous.
that's kind of a feat.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Because you
name another series that lasts for 10 years that's not just like 3 movies over 10 years. You know what I mean? I mean, it took them
It's every
20 years to get all 3 Godfather movies?
Oh, God.
And that was only because I don't know why maybe fans. I don't know why they went. I mean, I think there were more than 2 books. Actually, I think there's more than 3 books for the Godfather series, but they did the first 2 like literally back to back, and the last one is literally 20 years later. So
Yeah, in Infinity War.
he's young in one movie and he's old in the next.
Yeah, in Infinity War, there's no character that you.
The other 10-year long series is Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I mean,
that's-
8
okay,
movies though.
but
Only 8 movies.
right.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, then you have to throw in the Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And
But like I
Adam.
said,
And I've seen the
when you
Rockies.
watch
seen Creed.
but when you watch the Rocky movies, there's no. I mean, everybody you end up caring about. You don't want to not see someone in those films.
True.
Even the guy who does the goddamn music. Because when he doesn't do the music in 4, it makes you want to fucking pull your hair out.
Yeah.
Until 5 comes along and he does the music for 4 in 5.
Yeah. Even though
Bill Conti.
Ford
My man.
4 is my favorite of all of the Rocky films.
When he goes to Russia?
Yeah, that's my favorite film.
Man, please. That shit is terrible.
That's my favorite one.
That's the worst
I think
one.
my
I think
favorite
I
one
think
is
that
3.
one and 5 are probably the worst ones.
Yeah, I
Still
think
my favorite. I
My
don't
favorite
care.
one is 3, just because Mr. T.
Yeah, but that's
Just for that reason.
I think that's supposed. I mean, whatever. I think that when it comes down to like these
I like
long movies with these long stories and all of these details and all that stuff, it's a feat.
Yeah.
And
To make you care about everyone.
yeah.
Even even like the smaller.
Look, you can hear Adrian's theme song and start tearing up. You know what I'm saying? Just their theme song.
I didn't even have to hear it.
And when you hear it in like Rocky 1, it doesn't have that effect.
No,
But
well-
when you hear it in fucking Rocky Balboa, it's like the worst. It's like the worst ever.
It's almost as bad. Almost as bad as Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Almost.
I mean, there's just my thing is these long running films, just like a long running book series. You get invested in those things to the point where you want other people to not just be invested, but to go on that journey because you know that how it's impacted you. It's like when you read a good book or a magazine article and you're like, you got to check this out. Because you know the person you're talking to. You know that it would affect them in some way. It's like, you got to see this piece of art. You've got to do this thing. Yeah, that's why we I would say as human beings, why we pass on artworks to each other. Because we know the person we're giving it to, and it's like, you got to see this. Like I told you, you got to see the freaking Handmaid's Tale. There's a reason why I keep saying that, because we're living in that world right now. And that shit, and it's like we don't have very far to go from Trump America to the America of the Handmaid's Tale. We don't have there is not much space there between them. And that's why it's important to see, because it's like, you want a glimpse at a possible really bad future? Here it is.
I think that's part of the thing that kind of puts me off is I don't want the dystopian. I don't want to be a part of the dystopian future. I don't want to. I can't have it in my head.
Why not?
I don't know.
No, okay, that I understand that argument, but that argument does not hold water when we're talking about like the MCU and the DC verse. It just doesn't hold water.
No. I'm
that's all
talking
fantasy.
only for like the Handmaid's Tale and like I don't know, like the Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones has nothing to do with us at all.
I couldn't finish watching
has nothing to do with Earth.
the Outlander. That's a really good show, and I think you would enjoy it.
Oh, now you want to recommend some shit?
But I couldn't finish watching it because I couldn't deal with the constant threat of rape and the constant attempted rapes and the constant rapes.
That's the world we live in. We live in a pussy-grabbing world.
But this was not... It's not now.
No, my point is we have a pussy-grabbing president.
I understand we have
So
a
that's the
pussy-grabbing
world
president.
we're in now. So what felt like dystopia 5-10 years ago
is reality
now.
And I think that's probably why I don't want it. Why I can't ingest it is because it is so real.
Well, that's yeah.
And when I go and
I'm okay with that.
When I go and watch something, usually I watch something that is going to either educate me or is just plain
you'll be educated.
Hysterically funny.
You'll be educated and funny.
It's
by watching the MCU.
The MCU has.
I'm not saying the MCU. I'm saying the Handmaid's Tale.
I'm just saying in digesting all kinds of media that it's all that's going to be there.
Because honestly, the only things I really watch, like the Bake Off, I can't even make it through a full episode.
What?
I fall asleep.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking
But
about. We're not
even
talking about trying to stay awake.
Netflix has
reality TV.
Yeah, but I like reality TV. But Netflix has a new series, Sabrina, like the Teenage Witch
Teenage
Sabrina.
Witch. It's the reboot.
And I've been trying to make it through one episode, and it's not because I didn't want to watch it. It's because I keep getting interrupted, and then I have to leave it, and then I don't go back to it for days, and I feel like, okay, now I have to start over.
But it's not going anywhere. It's on Netflix.
I understand, but our child has now watched it all, and she wants to talk to me about it.
Then you better get to watching.
And I really want to watch it. I can't. I don't have time.
It's just like, you got
I'm
this
tired.
weekend.
I have so much work I have to get done.
You can binge watch the shit out of it this weekend.
I cannot.
You didn't do any schoolwork today. You can binge watch the shit out of it this weekend and
Monday.
enjoy yourself. And watch a couple MCU movies.
Yes.
How am I supposed
You know,
to
yeah,
get
you
my
could
work
watch.
done
You could
and
watch. You could watch one on Saturday and one on Sunday, and
Isn't
just
today Saturday?
No, I'm saying
Every
Saturday and Sunday you could watch one of those movies. You only have 5 more weeks to go. Think about that. You have plenty of time. Time is not your problem. I get that you're tired in the week, but I'm tired too. And I don't watch movies during the week. I watch them on the weekends. Just like all the Arrowverse. That's a whole nother problem right there.
Oh God.
You sitting there watching the Arrowverse. I haven't even started watching Black Lightning yet. And that's my man.
Black Jesus.
Shit.
You almost made me spit out my water.
Oh man.
That is my man right there. So, okay, you know.
I have to go back to
before Black
So,
Panther,
There was Black
there
Lightning.
was Black Jesus.
You're silly.
That's what they call him.
That's what they call him.
That's what they call him in the show.
That's what they call him in the comic book.
Yeah.
Black Jesus.
Yes.
Black Jesus.
He is Black
Is that
Jesus
why
because he is he was only in an urban area, one urban area. He was not a superhero that was going all over the world or all over a city or whatever. He was one urban area, and he was only in the black area of that urban area. And he was a principal of a school, but principal by day, superhero by night. And in the comic books, he's got it's the 70s, so he's got the big afro and he talks jive and all this stuff. But he was helping only people in the hood. And that's how he became known as Black Jesus.
And in
the show today, it's more modern day. No afro, he changes his voice, but he does not change his voice with how he speaks, but only the sound of his voice with a regulator thing. Kind of what Flash does. And then he
Flash does it different. He does it
no,
biologically.
I know, but it's still changing the sound of your voice. Yeah. And then he just does his superhero thing. But yeah, Black Jesus.
So when does the Aquaman movie come out?
December.
Are you sure?
That's what they said on the screen.
Ooh, I want to go see Robin Hood. That looked pretty good.
With Jamie Foxx.
With Jamie
with Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx.
That comes out November
Another
30th.
Robin Hood movie.
How many of those have been made?
Oh God!
The
Robin
last-
Hood goes back to Earl Flynn.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Robin Hood goes
Yep,
back to
yep.
when Guy actually shot the arrow and actually split the other arrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Robin Hood
December-
goes back to
CG.
those sword fights. The guy who taught them how to do the sword fights is the same guy who taught them how to do the lightsaber fights.
Oh God.
December 14th. It
See,
says.
there you go. Told you, December. I thought it was.
Well, it
I
says
thought it had already come out.
it says the initial one is December 14th in the UK, but I put Aquaman release date in Mexico, and it still came up with the same.
You should watch the second How to Train Your Dragon. That's good too.
Is the Fantastic Beasts not out in the US yet?
I thought it was.
Because one of my friends, I had posted that.
If not, we
got
got
it
it first.
Yeah.
Right? Well,
That ain't
that's-
happened in years.
Well, I think it is because one of my friends said yesterday she went. She lives in Kansas.
Wait. You just.
But
asked.
then another one said it wasn't out yet.
Then
But
somebody
they have
just,
to wait till next week to see it.
Somebody just don't know what they're talking about. Or
Right.
maybe it was on limited release.
But let me
Or
tell you
maybe she
something
saw a
cool.
screening.
Huh?
So-
No, screening you'd know because they talk at the end.
Jess was watching Fantastic Beasts at the same exact time we were in Poland. Nerds unite across the world.
And I'm wearing my Hogwarts shirt.
And Aaron's wearing his Hogwarts shirt.
You not wearing yours?
I'm wearing my 9 3/4.
No. You didn't wear that today. That don't count.
That
don't count. You did not take. You didn't wear that to the movie.
See,
I didn't. I wore a red sweater.
Hufflepuff for Newt.
And nobody
Okay.
reps Hufflepuff.
Shush. I do.
Okay. So, we watched this movie. They do go to Hogwarts at some point. Did you see Gryffindor?
No.
Did you see Hufflepuff?
Yes.
Did you see Slytherin?
Yes.
What's the other one?
Ravenclaw. And I saw those too.
You did not.
Yes, I did too.
You lied.
Because
When they were doing the.
what's her name? Lestrange is a Ravenclaw.
Yes, she is.
She's a Ravenclaw. Newt
Yes,
is a
she
Hufflepuff.
is. Ha ha.
And
No, I thought Lestranges were all
Nope.
No.
Slytherin.
Nope, that's Bellatrix. Bellatrix was Slytherin.
Because she's.
No, but she was wearing green.
Hold on.
It's like a
She was wearing
bluish.
green.
No, but her.
She
'cause
was
says
wearing-
that she's in Ravenclaw.
Well, she was wearing green. I didn't hear that, but she was wearing green. Because when they closed up on the young ones, I could have swore she was wearing green, and she had a Slytherin patch.
I saw someone who was in Slytherin, and they had like a really bright green shirt, like as green as your shirt. That's how green their outfit was.
Yeah. They had.
Come on,
really-
Karen, tell us, what is she?
I'm going.
You are so slow over there.
Oh my! But I also want to watch all the.
Lead to Lestrange. Come on.
I want to watch all the
You
Harry
are so
Potters
slow.
again just to see who else is.
Oh, we're gonna have to watch them all.
I want to do it for more information and to see who else is in Hufflepuff who's important.
Ain't nobody important in Hufflepuff. Telling you, man, it's the
Newt's important.
it's the you didn't get into the other three houses house.
See, that's just mean. That's mean.
Go to Pottermore.com. Get sorted. It's fun.
Get sorted.
But yeah,
And if
it's
you a Hufflepuff,
give a shout out to
says-
Professor
Shout
Raptor
out.
25.
It says her
Shout out Hufflepuff.
witchcraft and wizardry. She was a Slytherin.
I told you.
okay.
I told you.
What? It looked like she
I
was a
recognize
Ravenclaw.
my peeps, man.
Okay, it looked like she was a Ravenclaw.
No, it did not. She was wearing green. Who else is green?
That's it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you looked at her patch, the patch was the Slytherin patch.
Okay.
See? I knew it. Try to tell me who's in my house. My peoples. My family. Anybody who's seen Queen gets the reference. All right. You got any shout outs today, or are you gonna wait till tomorrow?
I'm gonna wait till tomorrow.
If you need us to shout out somebody, you better get at us. We need some more people to shout out. Shout out. Let it all out.
I love that it says Newt's birthday is 1897, but it doesn't give a day.
All right. I think the takeaway from this particular podcast:
Read books.
read books, watch the movies,
Read
watch
books.
the TV shows, consume the media, have something to talk about, because art is definitely worth talking about.
Oh, I do have one thing to say.
Like Jesus.
Lego
Oh, wait a minute now.
Lego
Watch your stuff now.
has 2 giant nifflers in the UK.
What's a niffler?
The little thing that steals the shiny stuff.
What's a niffler?
The little
It's the
platypus-looking
platypus-looking
thing
guy
that
that
steals all the shiny stuff.
The
Right.
jewels.
That's the Niffler.
We saw them in the first Fantastic Beasts.
In a second, because they're
No,
baby ones.
but most people have not seen it yet. So we saw them already in the first
Yes.
Fantastic Beasts. Those are the nifflers.
Yeah.
There were
And now I
2.
can have a Lego niffler.
There were
Is that what you're saying?
giant ones. They're huge, and they were spotted
statues.
in the jewelry district in London.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
I want a small one. I'd build a small
And
one.
there were
me too.
2
Oh, my dad.
seen in Edinburgh and in Cardiff.
Cardiff is good because Cardiff is where Torchwood is.
I haven't watched
Torchwood is in Cardiff. You know that the guy who plays Captain Jack, I do not remember his name. The guy who plays Captain Jack in Torchwood.
He's in Arrow.
Yes.
And I want to slice his head open like a melon.
He is. The fans want him to come back to Doctor Who so badly that they might actually have to bring that character and him back because it's so loud right now. Even he was surprised. He was like, I haven't been on the show for like 10 years.
Have you seen any of the new ones with the woman doctor?
No, I have not watched.
I've heard
I haven't
lots.
watched the old
Listen,
man either.
right. When they went to the old man, I watched a few of them and then I couldn't watch them anymore, even though I wanted to.
Well, I was talking to
How
Jess
bad is
about
that?
it because she asked me if you guys had watched any of the new ones.
No.
And I said no because you stopped watching it with the old guy. And she said she couldn't stand watching them either, and so she just didn't.
Skipped over them.
Yeah, she skipped them.
But see,
Gotten
there's
to
something
the
about
11th
that
Doctor.
girl I need to know about, and I know what happens to her from the previous Doctor. You know where she ends up, but you don't know how she gets there. And
Gotten
it's
to the
like
11th
you're sitting there
Doctor yet.
watching it, and you're like, you hear him apologize to her, which is like the fucking kiss of death of Doctor Who. If he apologizes to you, you're dead.
You might as well just say your goodbyes now.
Yeah, because
You
you're
are
dead.
screwed.
All that's gonna happen is he's gonna apologize to you, and then you're gonna be dead. So he
Within minutes.
yeah, and
Sometimes seconds.
with her, he figured out why, like, what was going on, like who he was talking to, and next thing you know, he's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh,
And then it's just like, fuck me. And then she's the main girl that's traveling with the next Doctor. And it's like, what? How? What? And then, so I want to know her. I want to know about her, and I can't stand him.
I haven't even gotten to the 11th Doctor.
See, so I'm just going to have to power through
I haven't gotten
him.
to David Tennant yet.
What? What'd you say? Wait, say that again.
I haven't gotten through David Tennant yet.
All right, so everybody can go. Everybody out there, just
Barty
throw
Crouch Jr.
oranges at Aaron's Professor
His
Raptor
name is
25.
David Tennant, not
Barty Crouch Jr.
Can you
Okay.
stop this?
And he's also, and like I said before, he's also in
And he's not British.
what's his name? What's her name? Little strong girl. Luke Cage's wife. What's her name?
Oh God, I can't remember her name.
What's her name? She's in New York.
Jessica Jones?
Jessica
Yes.
Jones. Jessica Jones is in the first season of Jessica Jones.
I haven't seen that
Marty
one,
Crouch
folks.
is in
Marty Crouch.
Barty Crouch Jr.
And also his
They
name
are-
is
he's
David
in that.
Tennant.
He's in that.
Look, these nifflers weigh 66 pounds
David
and are
Tennant.
2 feet 4 inches tall.
That's not how an actual niffler is, though.
No, these Lego nifflers.
Oh, okay.
They're
I want a
super
real
cool.
niffler.
Over
Oh, they're
11,000 Lego bricks, and it took them 60 hours to build it.
Well, yeah.
I want
I want an actual set.
the car.
It says, can you imagine the absolute chaos a living, breathing niffler that size could cause? It's almost too much to think about.
I want the car.
Want the Bugatti.
I want the car.
The Bugatti.
I can get the car.
Bugatti.
The Lego Bugatti?
Yeah, look and see how much that costs.
No.
That thing is awesome. And the big version actually drives.
And it kept getting faster and faster, and they had
so
to stop.
awesome.
What did they say? They had to stop because they were afraid it was just gonna fall apart if it went.
Yeah,
any
it was going to
faster.
shake itself apart.
Right.
But it's
But it had like an.
Oh my
actual
goodness.
engine.
how much? How much over there? Come on.
$2.6 million.
No, that's the real car.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
No, I'm talking about the Lego version that I can buy in the store.
7,000
Lego
pesos.
Technics.
Yeah, it's Lego Technics. It's
7,000 pesos.
See,
Let's tell you what that
kinda
is in
awesome.
dollars.
I'd build it. I want to build it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I like the Lego Technics. But anyway, we'll
God,
we'll
dog.
talk about Lego another
That's
day.
$350 for
Yeah,
a
they
Lego
all
set.
of their They have one set that's a
You
car.
guys to be out your
almost every
goddamn
year.
mind.
Yeah, well, look up the Porsche and look up all of them. They're all really expensive.
Well,
they
the
do one a year.
Porsche is 6,000 pesos.
Yeah, and what year did it come out? It was like 8 years old now or whatever.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the cars are awesome.
$350? Are you
A
crazy?
Lego podcast.
No, but like a Lego and gaming and movies. And, so we could talk about all the things that we can't talk about.
The
with Mommy
Porsche one is $300.
Kick mommy out.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'll go read a book.
Yeah, sure you will. You're gonna sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't take a nap today, thank you, sir.
Only because you were interrupted.
All right,
It's true facts.
all right. Let's give the rundown to the people and let the people go here,
Okay.
and we'll be back tomorrow with
You're gonna
more.
do a double tomorrow because you didn't do
No.
anything yesterday.
No,
Well,
we did it.
We're out an hour and 45 right now,
So that's 2.
which kind of makes up for yesterday. So, all right. If you want to find us on the YouTube, the Facebook, the Pinterest, the iTunes, or the Spotify, you can find us at The Traveling Fars. If you like the Twitter or the Instagram, we are Traveling Fars. If you like the email where you can send us shout outs for businesses that you want us to shout out, please contact us at travelingfars@gmail.com. And remember the blog space where a lot of the information about the businesses we're shouting out is going right now is thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. And we'll be back tomorrow.
Maybe we'll shoot some exciting Nerf battles.
Maybe I'll shoot Aaron in the face right now.
I have some
Maybe
Nerf
you
battle
shouldn't
footage,
Do that.
Maybe I should.
gentlemen.
Just do this shot. Just pull the trigger and no one will know. Oh God!
They're coming out with an augmented reality Harry Potter game.
An AR?
Uh-huh.
That would be fun.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Overwatch. Blizzard has a thing with Lego, so they have two. They have 2 Lego sets that are Overwatch.
Overwatch, Lego.
Lego Overwatch.
Everybody that loves Lego, raise your hand. I see you. All right. That's it. That's all we got.
And Overwatch.
Overwatch. I don't like Overwatch. I don't know
Play-
Overwatch. I have
play
not
some
played
of that.
Overwatch or Fortnite.
You can get Overwatch.
I know I can get it, but I won't have time to play it. But being free, I got a lot of games for free, and I don't play them either.
You don't even have it installed, so that's true.
I got like 200 games in my Steam account, and a lot of them were free. And they weren't free games; they were just in a bundle of. That's why we need the gaming podcast on Twitch.
This stuff.
All right. Well, if you guys want to hear us talk about games on Twitch, but we don't have a lot of money, so we don't have lots of games.
No, you have a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, but I'd have to have the time to play them.
Well, and I have a few games that I haven't.
The last game I played, I think, was either Assassin's Creed Origins or The Witcher, and that was almost a month ago. I want to play that again too. Now I think I would be better at it now. After playing some other games, I think I might be a little better at sneaking and. See, Lo Wang is my Negro. He is the best.
Blackest Japanese ever.
He is awesome. Lo Wang is the man. All right, that's it. That's all you get. That's